Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I got my little stuff set up. I'm ready whenever you ready, Noble. I'm on my
Alright,
YouTube channel. I got my personal YouTube channel. I got a couple brothers in town, some of my Muslim brothers, so they joining me. So
it's on. Peace, nobles. Alright, I'm gonna go. You need me to show the book today, or you just gonna?
no, I got it.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
Yep, I got it. But you can do whatever you like, Noble.
Uh,
Yep.
I'm gonna go live and do the
Do the teach.
promo videos on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Barclay in there. Right.
Hold on one second.
MyPDFBooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Peace, no live.
Peace, peace. Can y'all hear me? Hold on one second. One second. Peace, nobles. How y'all doing today?
Great.
Fine, sir.
Islam.
How are you today?
Everyone, just to everyone in the world, man, we here to give everybody peace and love. I want to thank my brothers of the BBT as always, man, for being consistent and just doing what we do to take care of home. So I give gratitude. But we're gonna have a good teaching. I like to teach in, how can I say, circles, because a lot of time when we speak of things, sometimes people may not remember. So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue to teach. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry, my.
Yes, indeed.
All right, I just had to get that in check. So y'all have the document, law governs all events. We're gonna go over that once again, just for clarity, for brothers can get a true meaning of when we talk science. It's not arbitrary. We like to teach for brothers and sisters can actually know something, and you can compare things to things that people say, so you can get the right science, you can get the right knowledge, so you don't be out here operating as some sovereign citizen or just things you may have heard on the internet thinking it's some different type of law that us as Moorish brothers adhere to. We operate on everything that's legal in the world, and we are in the Constitution. So we're not here to overthrow no government. We're not here to make our own law or none of that. We're here to operate as law-abiding Americans. And once you understand the law, once you understand how to operate in the law, and then you will know that law governs all events and everything operates on a certain type of system. We have to know this as as we resurrect ourselves as Moorish brothers and sisters. There's no special law. There's nothing outside of what we do. We're not criminals. We don't operate doing anything that's criminal. And if you do operate as a criminal, you will be prosecuted. And that's just what it is. When I speak on Moorish science, even my mother, a lot of people say, oh, are those Moors those ones that don't pay taxes? That's not the reason you want to get into Moorish science, because you can be a part of a religious organization that's tax exempt for the federal government and take advantage of the tax exempt status. So there's no such thing as no Moors don't pay taxes and all this. If you live in a neighborhood, in a community, the reason why you still have your house, because you're paying taxes, right?
It's lying.
Let's just have that real conversation. It's no more in the United States of America that's living in a neighborhood or a community that's not paying taxes. They're lying to you. And if they're not paying taxes, they will lose their home for back taxes, because the local and the state law trumps all that. All this stuff since the COVID been out and people thinking there's some special law and I want more, I want to claim my nationality and all that. That's criminal stuff, because no one on this internet, not even myself as a sheikh and all my mufti that you see right here, I don't nationalize no one. I don't denationalize you. I teach you the science for you can save yourself and save your children and save your loved ones and go back in the community and operate and resurrect your brothers and your sisters with the right science, with the right law. That's why you'll never see anyone part of the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School going to jail. You're never going to see anyone part of Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School teach you, talk about you some sovereign citizen and we got some special law. You're never going to see myself as a map and a guide to tell someone I got some secret or some special paperwork that's going to give you something. It's all fugazi. And you see what's happening to all the men, all the women. They're going to jail, and you will be prosecuted to the highest extent of the law. So let's deal with a little science. And my brothers, y'all can jump in if y'all want to say anything, or if you got any questions, if you want to add to something, because this is a school. And here at the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, I want brothers and sisters to learn. That's what I want us to talk and communicate, because there's so much misinformation about this science that's on the internet. It's so many, no disrespect, I'm going to say it how I want to say it, retarded NBCs that just think they can put a fez on their head, Noble Alonzo, and a turban and buy a whole bunch of beads and think they got some special powers. You know, it doesn't work like that. And so as my Noble Alonzo creating his podcast, what we're doing, we're going to be doing a lot of questions and answers. We're going to be answering a lot of general questions that brothers have that's done got caught up and misconstrued, thinking, oh, I'm a Moor, I need a fez, and I have some special Moorish powers, like this is some cartoon. And I'm going to tell you, it don't work like that. It does not work like that. To know law, you must deal with someone that knows law, like myself and others. You must know local law, state law, federal law. You must know language. You must know linguistics. You must know history. You must know case law. You must know quid pro quo. You must know habeas corpus. You must know precedent in law cases, doc number, Free Information Act. You should be an educator and a scholar in real life. And we use the internet to bring my brothers and sisters in for small donations. We have a full library to educate the world. So let's just deal with a little bit of this law governs all events. I like to call it the upper echelon, the hierarchical system of law. This is book 1. Book 2 is the holy breath of history. And book 3 is seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. The 7-book collation by a nice Moorish adapt brother. That's why I said nothing is new under the sun. And we shouldn't be a group of people that don't support each other. People should support our temple and school, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to spread this science. You know, like as we was working out earlier today, I said it hurts my heart when I lecture this to college students and Europeans and my own brothers and sisters that call themselves Moors. They don't support just as much as the real people in life. Most of my teachings are at colleges and at different synagogues because they want to learn. I don't have any fake degrees. And I jump on this internet and I open my doors. I give my office number, I give my email, and I ask people to tap in. So highest honors to Allah, the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, to all the Moorish Americans all over the world in this time, and those on the path. And honors to all nationalities. I don't care what color you are. Honors to all nations, praising the great God under their own vine and fig tree. And honors to whom honor is due. I give love and respect to every man. But I will also like to start with a preface. The preface is let you know about things. When a person open a book, they don't even read the preface of a book to get a clear understanding, to get a clear, to see what's going on. So you can have an idea of what the book is talking about. So I'm gonna give a little preface. And like I said, if any of my nobles want to add anything, please do. The essence of law. There is but one Allah, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. That's in your Moorish Quran, chapter 35, in verse 1. It's in your Moorish Quran. He hath instituted laws for the government of the world. He has wonderfully varied them in all beings, and each by his nature conforth to his will. That's in your Moorish Quran. That's in your Moorish Quran, chapter 35. Read it all, which I know a lot of brothers don't study their Moorish Quran. Man, my dad would tell you, I had a group of Moors at my temple, and these are older gentlemen. They never had the Moorish Quran. I said, how are you teaching Moorish science without the Moorish Quran? Noble Alonzo, they never even had the Moorish Quran. And my dad is a scholar, an elder. I don't let these brothers in my building. I said, where are y'all teaching from? The divine come first, and you don't even have the Moorish Quran? So we in here having barbershop talk. And that's what these Negroes do. They have barbershop talk thinking they getting ready to overthrow some government. That's what these Negroes be talking about. And so I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to start calling it all out. Even in the state booklet, those certain brothers that tell you that they don't pay taxes. Well, why they have all their brothers and sisters file fake taxes and they all went to jail? All of them. All of them.
Question.
They all went to jail. Nobody asked that. We act like everything is a secret in this science. Well, like that's shade. That ain't no shade. If it's the truth, you're saving somebody from not falling in the same drama or in the burning house that these people already went through. And they right back out here doing the same thing to their brothers and sisters, leading them in the burning house, having them, file this fake tax, file this, all this, using you as a crash dummy. And they done went to prison and got at all they people went to prison. And I sent y'all the documents before. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's in the state booklet. When they talk about some 1099 and some trust fund at the end of the rainbow, and the 1099 ain't nothing but an affidavit, a religious affidavit, and you got these grown fools out here telling you that that's some trust fund at the end of the rainbow, you gonna go to jail. It's just the truth, y'all. Somebody telling you that they some consulate general of Morocco and they retired but over here in the United States, and you see them get their head bust and they sit in jail and rot. You see them brothers on the highway talk about they some Moorish militia, and you see what happened to all of them. They all in jail. 2 of them was agents. They work for the police, informants, got everybody locked up. And a lot of their cases is coming up now. I can say names. That is not more science. That's criminal behavior. That's sovereign citizen. And a sovereign and a citizen is an oxymoron. You cannot be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. That's an oxymoron. Do anybody know what an oxymoron is?
Is it like a contradiction?
Yes. You can't be a sovereign and a citizen. You can't.
The only thing that can be sovereign is a state body.
Absolutely, Noble Malik. And if people know how the BBT is set up, if you know how Noble Drew Ali set the Moorish Science Temple of America up, if you have the state booklet,
the sovereign body.
Yes, that's the body politic. You will know. You don't have to go around and all these characters, I don't care how old they are, telling you a whole bunch of fake stuff, saying that they can nationalize you and denationalize you. So that's right. As a Moorish American, we instructed to know thyself and know Allah. When we say Allah in Moorish science, we're not no Al-Islam Muslims. Allah It's an acronym: arm, leg, arm, head. If Jesus, if Jesus and the followers of Yahshua spoke Aramaic, well, what was the name of God in Aramaic? Allah.
Oh, yeah. Yahweh.
Allah in Aramaic is Allah. E-L-A-H. Yes, E-L-A-H. Allah. Yes. Yes. Not saying that we know Al Islam Muslims, because that is not more science. We under the triple rose here at the BBT. You say what, Malik?
So that's a religion.
Yes. We don't gravitate to one science where we miss the essence of the rest. We are under the triple rose. We are Sufi. We study Sufism. Can y'all tell the world what the triple rose consists of?
The Fatimid, the Paraclete, and
Jerusalem.
what'd you say? Jerusalem.
So that's the triple rose. So that means we have a clear understanding. That means we have a clear understanding of everything, you know? And so I'm not here to argue with people. I'm not here for that. And that's what a lot of people do. They get on platforms, they jump on my YouTube page, and then they start asking a whole bunch of questions like, I'm gonna get into some debate with somebody. I would never do that. And that's what we do as brothers and sisters. We act like Crips and Bloods. We the only group of people that can't get along. We the only group of people that our mothers and fathers know each other, and just because a person is under a religious house, they start arguing with each other. They start arguing. What about this one? What about this? I say
conversation.
You say what, Noble Malik?
I said it's supposed to be a conversation, and people read, even if they read the Bible or the Circle of Seven, they can see that Isa, Yahshua, whatever you want to call him, and what this dispensation we talking about, you will read that he had conversations with other leaders or so-called Godheads, and they had a conversation. So they did ask questions, but it was a conversation to get clarity.
Like for
So
instance,
we should be looking to get clarity.
I know so many brothers from different houses. Noble Malik, I travel. I know people that deal with Dr. York. I know people that deal with all these different people. And I said, if you sit and if a person to just jump on my page and start asking questions and not even been in tune, I've been doing this for so long, I respect and obey all the in the prophet, even the brothers in the flesh. Yes, I know when you get some power, it can corrupt you, but I don't deal with the corruptness of man. I deal with the light. I deal with what the good that a person done. I have all the books. I have all the literature. I have all the tablets. So just like the one brother, I think Barclay is on here when the brother jumped on my page was like, oh, your brother, he teaches who he think he is, Dr. York. You say, no, he's a scientist and a teacher and an educator. It's nothing new under the sun. It's nothing new under the sun. So I deal with all wisdom from all like men. Sheikh Anta Diop, Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Francis Quells Wilson. I deal with a lot of different European. I deal with Manly P. Hall. I deal with Adam Blavatsky, but I teach the science in the right way because all of them will tell you that it's all more science and it revert back to a lot of the teachers what the prophet taught. But we don't know that as brothers and sisters because we act like Crips and Bloods, Noble Alonzo, Noble Malik, Noble Maso, because somebody's garment might be different, or you might use a different syllable, or you might use a different word to explain that higher self. And not sitting down with language as a linguistic, get on the same page. That's what we don't do. And so when we walk out the house, we act like Crips and Bloods. You see?
Islam. A lot of the issue also I see a lot of nobles, they don't know the history of the movements that they get so involved in. You know, a lot of brothers come into this at a low state or from prison and they get excited, you know, just like Malcolm X when he learned about Elijah Muhammad. You know,
that's a good example.
I was watching that movie the other day. He essentially, you know, he idolized that man like a father. You know, he was in jail and was learning the teachings, but then it broke his heart when he found out that Elijah Muhammad had all those children by those younger women in the movement, and he was broken. You know, his wife was telling him about it, and then he traveled, and that's what a lot of brothers, they don't travel, they don't know the history. And they get, you know, they just following a man and they think that man is greater than them. But, you know, every man has his higher self and lower self. And if you don't know the history of whatever movement you're a part of, it'll come back. It'll come back to bite you.
No, but just like my homie, y'all know in Vegas, when I met him, did 12 years in prison. And he was like, man, the warden let them listen to me. He was like, the warden is a misnomer black person. I said, anything you get into science and you call yourself black and you use all those misnomers and all that, and you're not a historian, you don't know civics, you really putting your people back, because all those names was given and identified as slavery. Most of these brothers don't know the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment. Most of them brothers don't know manumissions. Most of them brothers don't know the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15. Most of them don't know the House Joint Resolution 75. Most of them don't know the religious rights of the indigenous people. A lot of brothers, they don't know that. And you have to be educated on these certain topics. You have to really know civics and really know law and history. To go around saying something is some white man stuff is the craziest thing in the world, because the first universities was in Salamanca in Spain. Like, even when I deal with my other science, Noble Maso, when I deal with Credo Matua, a lot of people don't even know who Credo Matua is, but you know, when I deal with Sheikh Bamboo Falls, the Moradine, I study under a lot of different houses. If I was back in the continent of Africa, a scholar, a noble, is a person like myself that can teach you the 1, 2, and 3s, the ABCs, and go back and teach it to the babies and build a community. Just like Haile Selassie did when he sent all his Abyssinian Ethiopian brothers from Ethiopia, from Abyssinia, brought them to the States and got their education and went back home and built up their community. And these brothers jump on the internet and just be babbling up at the mouth. And I said, what real work are you doing? Like, we have a full library. We own land. We bring people together. So I would never get into no discussion with a person with a tittle of light and they under a religious house and diss everybody else and they say their way is the right way. Well, clearly that can't be true, because it was 16 crucified saviors before Jesus or Yahshua. This is what I be telling people. I said, how can you gravitate to a man and don't gravitate to a man like myself that's educated and know all the science and give respect to all the elders? Give respect to all the ones that have written books and things. I have them. I'm an adapt. I had to study those things. And then when you look at them tablets, what people try to do is implement themselves in the tablets. All the tablets. When the man to put themselves in the tablets, you have to start thinking. It ain't about me. It's about bringing the information. You saw, like I tell people, if you look at all Dr. York books, Dr. York wore the fez. Dr. York was a Moor. He'll tell you. Just like Khalid Muhammad would tell you he was a Moor. But I'm not going to argue with Khalid Muhammad because he was a Muslim and practiced al-Islam. I'm not going to argue with the brothers. No, but it's too much that we can agree on. We should have a common denominator as Moorish Americans. We should have a common denominator as Muslims or spiritual people, whatever. We should have a common denominator. We shouldn't be here arguing, because if we was in prison, everybody was in prison, everybody would be falling under my auspices. Like my brother Haj said, he was like, Sheikh, they'll have to follow you. He was like, they'll have to be under you. They'll have to have a mother and father them sending you donations. Why? Because I have the key to make you free. I know law. I know all facets of law. I know precedent and doc cases. I know the Free Information Act. I know all that. And not being a know-it-all, because I'm educated in it, nobles. I have a specific skill. And this is what I'll be telling brothers. The divine must come first. Never get into an argument or a debate with a brother that look like you. Because what is there to prove? What is there to prove, nobles? You know, it's nothing. And this is the law, the science of Moorish science, also known as knowledge of self, and the path or the way of life. And to accomplish such a lofty idea is to be on the path. To be on the path. Islamism or peace. Not no submission. That's why you hear Alonzo say peace, 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 peace. That's why you hear Malik saying peace, peace, peace. That's why you hear Mosso saying peace, 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 peace. Because we under the auspices of peace. Peace with God. Peace with man. Peace with nature. Peace with one surrounding for a simplified understanding. That's what I'm here for. A simplified understanding to synchronize the teachings. And as a grand sheikh, meaning one proficient in the degrees of law, to understand the way so as to further instruct and be of service to one brothers and sisters and others on the path. That's what I am to people. When Negroes get on, well, you're not no sheikh. No, I'm not your sheikh. Just like if you came to my dojo and I teach Wing Chun and I teach sticky hands and you say, well, you're not my sensei, you're not my Sufi. And I say, no, I'm not. No, I'm a Sufi and a sensei to a group of brothers. And I bet you my brothers know how to work with their hand, their feet, their mind, their finances right, their mental right. So you lost because you trying to fight. We gonna whoop you with our brain because we brothers, we coming under peace. See, that's what ruled the world, the peace of man. You see? And as a grand sheik means one proficient in degrees of law. Just like when you study in martial arts and a brother think he got a black belt and now he think he knows something, Malik. Well, when a black belt just means you ready to learn, Malik, because there's so many gulps of that. A black belt, just like the black fez. All y'all got the fez. Yeah, y'all wear the maroon fez, but y'all have the black fez. Now, because y'all in a different house. Y'all been educated. Y'all been initiated with wisdom. Y'all been initiated with wisdom. The tassel get longer. Just like in academia, my graduation cap changed. When I got my bachelor's, when I got my master's, everything changed. When I get my doctorate, everything will change. You proficient in the degrees of law to understand the way, so forth to instruct and be of service of your brothers and sisters and everybody on the path, everybody that you come around. Malik, when you at work, you on the path. When you come around people, they see your light because law governs all events. And this said is the understood. It's the way, it's the life, and life is the path of the law. And deeper still, being the very law, one comes to manifest. All law is established in truth, which is the holy breath, the Aut, the Allah, the Allah. Truth is that which changes not. Truth is that which changes not. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. It's pi. I done taught this. It's only one God. It's only one universal science. But we get caught up in man-made religion and arguing like we Crips and Bloods, like brothers be trying to prove a point. I said, you can't prove no point with me because I can agree to disagree with you and I can agree on principles. I don't care if I'm not part of your society. I agree on principles, Noble Malik, Noble Alonzo, Noble Moso. I agree on principles. I don't care what banner you carry. It don't matter to me.
Right is right.
Man,
Right is right.
right is right, period. 1 + 1 is 2. I don't care what language you speak. I don't care if you speak Arabic. I don't care if you speak Paleo. I don't care if you speak English. The truth is the truth and a lie is a lie. That's it. And in the divine instruction, you say what, Noble?
I said, that's it. That's all.
Yes, sir. And in the divine instruction for man, it's understood that in all the world, there are 2 things. The one is truth, the other is falsehood. And falsehood is that which seems to be. Now, truth is aught and has no cause, and yet is the cause of everything. Falsehood is not, and yet is manifest of right. So whatever has been made will be unmade. That which begins must end. That's in our Moore's Quran, chapter 7, verse 4 through 7. When I deal with a little bit, I teach a lot of my European Mason brothers, and I tell people, when people say, oh, your sheik took an oath, I'd rather take an oath of science than be an idiot. And if I took an oath, you can find my charter. Just like I found all these lower level Negro Masons and brothers that be in Greek fraternities. When I tell people and they think a part of them have to die, Malik, I done brought back science to y'all. I done brought back things that you can build yourself up from inside out. And everybody just deal with catchphrases. And I say, everybody gonna try to get you with a catchphrase when they say, what's above is below. But what's above is below. That's in your brain. Your brain have the 12 constellations, just like in the sky. When I talk about how can you measure the ceiling without getting on the ladder, Noble Malik, what's the answer?
Measure the floor.
Why measure the floor?
That's as above, so below.
It gotta match. You can't have a structure, and you can't have a structure. The bottom has to match. The top has to match the bottom. So how you got to cut something off? How you going to build the structure without knowing how to use your compass and your square? How? And you think all this stuff is that's some European stuff. That's amazing. Man, these are signs and symbols of the primordial man. Brothers are not learned. It was illegal for the Negro to read. It was illegal for us to come together. That's in the Black Christian codes. And European scholars wrote about this science. Research a book called Signs and Symbols of the Primordial Man by Albert Churchward. which y'all have in y'all library, and then ask those smart guys to come back. They'll be like, man, all the science belong to us. Yes. Yes. All the elders that done wrote books, J.A. Rogers, all those brothers that's written, they come back and tell you exactly what I'm saying. Commercial law, in a nutshell, when you read chapter 1, 2, and 3, explain if you are able to see why the above quote explains commercial law's process. That's why I said I can use the Moorish Quran and the Bible to break down all facets of law. You should be able to do that instead of talking about this is some white man book, because it's not. It's a genealogy book. It's a science book. It's a historical book.
Human beings.
Yes. The Bible is written in an analogy and parable and symbology, Noble Malik. So if the Bible is written in analogy, parable, and symbology, the first thing you got to ask a brother that think he's so smart, do you know analogy and parable and symbology? The first thing they're going to say is no. So why are you going to say something belongs to somebody else and you can't even break down the science in that? You're not even a mechanic. Everything was given to you, and the internet is fake.
The copy Jew.
Yes. If you can't break,
And I mean Jew as in Jew.
yes, yes.
The Jew in you.
Noble Malik, when I was getting my undergrad in business management with a minor in marketing and sales, a nonprofit business startup, before you can get an A in the class, you had to do a capstone. Do people know what a capstone is?
We explained it before.
A capstone is you got to be able to break the science down. So what, you get an A? You might have cheated. Tell me how you got to where you say you deserve an A. Explain it so I can help Malik. If I say, man, I put this engine in the car, I should be able to break it down and show Malik how to build that engine up and break it down. I told y'all.
That shows you're a true educator.
Yes, I told y'all my favorite movie is The Wolf of Wall Street. When that brother said, man, he showed him that $70,000 check. He said, man, show me you really doing that. I'll quit my job. I'll come with you right now. He showed him the way. There's nothing fake. You have to have a certain type of knowledge and wisdom and understanding to be an adept. Just like Bobby Hemmett, just like C. Freeman L. I told y'all, I know all of them. Man, my elders and everybody be saying, you just as heavy as them. They're like, all these people are sick or gone. Peace be amongst C. Freeman L. I have the science. If them brothers was alive, it's like how you saw Bobby Hemmett and C. Freeman L. Just like how you saw John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben on, I forget that TV. I forget the show. It'll come to me. And they lecturing. Them brothers wasn't arguing with each other. Them brothers wasn't arguing. Tony Brown's Journals. That's what it's called. Tony Brown's Journals. Google Tony Brown's Journals on YouTube and you see Dr. Ben. You see all those educators. They weren't arguing with each other trying to prove each other wrong. They was proving each other right. They wasn't there arguing with each other. How can I be an educator, a doctor? How can you be a doctor and we coming with some different science? The only thing we gonna talk different, Noble Malik, is our lower religious dogma. That's all we gonna argue on, our dogma. Because if we're scholars and we researchers, we should have the same science.
Yep.
And that's what I tell brothers. I said, you don't know, y'all playing Crips and Bloods. Scholars from the first century, they all agreed. Look, John Henry Clark. If y'all don't know who Sheikh Anta Diop is, John Henry Clark wrote took a lot of Sheikh Anta Diop books in English because a lot of his books was in Latin and French. One of the most prolific scholars in our time, Sheikh Anta Diop. Y'all have all the books. I gave them all to y'all.
Chandler Wilson too, huh?
Yeah, all of them. Dr. Ben, Chandler Wilson, Dr. Francis Krause Wilson. The book that I gathered and compiled got so many scholars in the book. J.A. Rogers, all of them. And then I can get into the European people like Peter Moon. You know, your brother that wrote Peter Lambert Wilson. And all those are their pseudonyms, their pen names.
Until you agree.
Yes. And here it is, you have a brother in the flesh like myself that's an educator and a scholar. If those people was around me today, all they'll do is be quiet. That's all they'll do. And I said, if you like Bobby Hemmett, why you don't like me? If you like C. Freeman L., why you don't like me? You like Dr. Ben, why you don't like me? You like John Henry Clark, why you don't like me? Because if them brother was alive right now, we'd all be sitting together, lecturing. We wouldn't be arguing. They'd be like, that brother is on to something. We wouldn't be arguing. Man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Man is the breath made flesh. So truth and falsehood are conjoined in him. And then they thrive, and naught goes down, and man as truth abides. That's chapter 7, verse 13. Speaking public minister, Daystar from on high, aka Jesus the Christ, aka Yahshua the Messiah. Y'all don't see this? In the light of the above words that I just said, the law is the unshakable pillars of truth, dispelling the darkness of falsehood, revealing the light to settle in peace. Laws for civilized governments, their religion, science, philosophy are grown out of the force of nature and its nature's development constituted by a prophet of God or Allah, one sent to deliver the law and appoint those faithful to the truth as trustees. Y'all are my trustees. In Moorish science, y'all are my adapts. Y'all are my nobles. Hajj, when Malcolm got his name, Hajj El, that's just noble. Y'all are my nobles. Y'all are my nobles. I appointed y'all to what? To be the truth. Trustees for the greatest development of our people to the highest potential, which is the nature of its source, that being truth. And in essence, all true and divine laws come from God, come from Allah, and due to the divine nature of Allah. The laws from Allah to man are to guide, to instruct to a perfect state of being or being peace itself. And most of these men, they don't have peace themselves. Why? Because they trying to prove a point. They arguing with their own brother. And I'm not going to get into no argument or to no discussion with a person that I know that's not a scholar and an educator. I'm not even going to waste my time. I won't even get into no debate. Never get into no debate with no one. You would never see me debating my brother. I don't want to embarrass my brother. Because soon as they speak, I know you have a tittle of light. So why would I want to embarrass my brother, Noble Malik, in front of other people? Why?
That would be ego. You wouldn't do that. We don't operate in that point.
I would never do that. Yeah, you got something. Everybody got a little piece of something. That's why I say I can agree with a lot of people. Everybody knows some stuff. But you got to admit, yes, but you only know a tittle. If you haven't been initiated with the wisdom and your brain ain't there, you ain't lived on the earth long enough. You ain't been a part of nothing. And you ain't even sacrificed something. What? Your time to learn, educate, to go into those houses where you say, oh, well, this not ours, and go and prove your point like I've done from scholarship, to graduate with honors. And then to go to all these houses, to the Philosophical Research Society and be an adept and teach all those lower level Masons, to teach them, say, man, it's something that you don't know. Give that stuff back and come on home. Like our prophet said, you're not responsible for the stuff that you did when you didn't know. You know, you didn't know. It is the need.
Well, you know better. You're doing better.
That's right. It is the need for civilized man to develop ways and paths to better comprehend true law, or the force, more comprehensively understood the will of Allah, and institute civilizations that harmonize with the will. Like our Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine and National Movement. That's what we do at the BBT. The Kingdom of Heaven, a religious body politic, a divine nation state, established in 1913 by the will of Allah, when the Prophet set up the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now we're going to deal with a little bit of this. And like I said, y'all give y'all input. We're going to jump in chapter 1, the upper echelon, the hierarchical system of law. In the development of civilization, the will of Allah, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, that's the law. It's the law of all laws, which is the first law. Its second expression in the picking order of law is natural law. Natural law is existence as it is, being what it is, how it functions, as it functions according to the laws which make it what it is. So natural law is given the given truth. It is the constancies and the consistencies and the constancies that make existence able to be what it is all and make it be what it is at all. And the science of epistemology, it teaches us that every age there is a milestone in the journey of the human race. And these milestones are developed through governments, who? The people, in harmony with the law. We call these times the golden age. Ivan Van Sertima, didn't he write the golden age of the Moors? He didn't write no dark ages of the Moors, did he? He wrote the golden age of the Moors, right, Malik?
That's right.
The golden age. We have science, philosophies, medicine, and we apply the law to these expressions of civilizations. And we all presuppose in these expressions that we are discovering and learning and being able to apply something that already pre-exists. The natural law is given truth. Like right now, why would Malik listen to somebody say, man, oh yeah, you should be eating this, you should get in shape. And all they do is talk. And Malik look at them and they looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. And Malik really do this. Why should you listen to a person just talking and you really do this in life? We do this in life at the BBT. Huh?
I don't know.
Most of the brothers, they don't work out. They just take a pill. We in top shape. Because health is your wealth. It's in your Bible. It's in your Quran. And when the law begins to emerge in human consciousness through observation and application of natural law, thoughts, thinking, words, deeds, or actions in the natural order of evolution, you have what is the most fundamental of all human law. The most fundamental of all human law is the law of economics. And most of these brothers on here poor and broke, waiting for a chick to get some taxes because they talk about they finna flip them. Yeah, they talk about the white man is. No, man, you go to work and you trade hours for dollars. There's nothing wrong with that, but you got to be honest. If you don't have no money, no economics, you don't have nothing. And that's a fact.
There we go.
And long as it's the creator, long as man make money, we don't operate looking for the main thing. We connect ourselves to God. We connect ourselves to Allah. We can make some money. I use the analogy, Noble Malik, and I sat and talked to a group of brothers and they thought they were so heavy. I said, what do you want, the light switch or the electricity? Do you know them goofy, excuse my candor, Negroes talk about, give me the light switch because I can cut the power on and off. I said, no, you can't, fool. The power with the switch is going through all the time. I can shock you. The power is always on. The switch just cut the light on to the eye. The power is always on. And you want the doohickey? You don't want the electricity? You got to be crazy.
Give me the source.
We the source. We are the electricity, but you want a doohickey. You want a doohickey. And that's how brothers be caught up. They don't want the source of the power. They want the switch. Because that's what you see with your natural eye. You see something. Let me cut your power off. Disconnected from the Father, which most of these brothers are. Commercial law is the third law. It has to do with human survival, with human interactions of any kind, any relationship, buying, selling, trading, relating in any way, which gave rise to the fourth law, which is moral law of the family. And the definition of moral law is a general rule of right living, especially such a rule or group of rules conceived as universal and unchanging and as having the sanction of God's will, of conscience, of man's moral nature, or of natural justice as revealed to human reason. When I ask these brothers and sisters that be under that poor science, and I say, do you got children? Yeah, what do you want your children to be? I know you don't want them to be a criminal like the shit, that you promulgate on the internet. You don't want your kid, you ask anybody, I want my kid to go to college, get a good job, but you don't want that for yourself? You a fool. You a fool, Noble Malik.
Huh?
Poisoning the baby's minds, out here lying to them. Next, which is overlooked in most societies when understanding the application of law in its root order, it is the law of the family or the law of nations.
Like, your analogy was basically like people know McDonald's ain't real food, but they still keep feeding their children their food.
Yes, that's called insanity.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Malik. You will get on here and make all those videos, all this poison, and you go right there and with your sorry stuff and take your kids there.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Yes. You talk about you homeschooling, you ain't teaching nothing at home. You don't even have a library at home, but you get on the internet and argue with people that you don't even know. That tell you how crazy you are.
No control.
That tell you how crazy men are. Men to jump on somebody's internet and get to ask them a whole bunch of questions arguing, and that's insanity.
Yeah.
The law of family, the law of nations, or the laws of one's forefathers, the law of one's vine and fig tree, which gave rise to nations, state, or government laws to protect the family member against any other people, any nation, or another family member. When I be asking people, who is your family? Because being no more is just history. But who is your family? What tribe you come from? I don't know. So you ain't sat down with your great grandmother, because I know my family background. I know where I'm from. I know I'm not no slave. I know I'm American. I know a lot of my elders are family from Ethiopia, from Abyssinia, and they was already free. I know all my family owned land. They wasn't no slaves. My grandfather and them was educators, owned land. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't no slave. I know that. Wasn't nobody over us. Wasn't no slave. I know that for a fact. We were free. We were tribes. I know what tribe I come from. And that's what I tell people. It's one nationality, many cultures. No one is stripping you over your culture. No one is stripping you over your bloodline and your makeup or your family crest, aka your coat of arms. Most NBCs don't even know their family crest and think their last name is a slave name. Noble Drew Ali was Timothy Drew. Timothy Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali. He ain't changed his, he ain't say his last name was no slave name. He annexed his El or Bay to his name. Didn't he, Noble Malik?
Absolutely.
He annexed his name. He annexed it.
Nobility.
Yes, his nobility, his family crest. He annexed his nobility. Your last name is not a slave name. That's man-made religion that tell you that crap. The law of nations or internal law. That's right. How you gonna obey your mother and your fathers and you get rid of the name that your mama gave you? Noble Malik, if your inheritance was tied to your last name and you let one of these religious people tell you that your last name is a slave name and you just a L or a Bay, man, we all L's and Bays. But what's the name that your mama gave you? What's your family background? You're supposed to annex your L and Bay. You don't even know law.
Yeah.
You don't even know law.
Right.
You don't even know law. You just talking because you looked on the internet and heard a whole bunch of people talking. But I bet you they won't take that crap to court. They'll try to have you go in there and they'll let you get rid of your name. And they'll laugh at you and I'll laugh at you too.
It's like you willingly self-identify as a slave.
Yes, you're a willing obligor. Come on, Malik. We laugh at people when they fill out, especially these so-called Moors. They'll get the identity piece of paper in them, the FS 181 form, and it says fill out everything that's pertaining to you. I bet you a smart Negro won't fill it out the right way, because if you don't fill a form out the right way, it's going to be voided.
Most FS 181 form is on all applications. People just don't realize it.
Because they don't read. It says fill out all that's pertaining to you. Now, which one pertaining to you? I bet you the average Negro on here that talk all that crap, I bet you they fill it out wrong. You know it and I know it, Malik.
Lack of education, I've been there.
You know it and I know it. It's one on there that clearly explains who you are. It's one on there that clearly explains who you are. No matter if you so-called Africa or so-called Europe, it tells you exactly who you are right on that form. And you don't know that? The law of nations or international law may be defined as the body of rules and principles of actions which are binding upon civilized states in their relationship and their relation with one another. Another way of seeing this is nationality is the order of the day. When I ask
what has standing in law, right?
Yes.
Figure out which one of them have standing in law.
Right.
We're filling out a legal document. So
yes.
That's what people need to understand.
Malik, what's your nationality?
My nationality?
Yes.
I'm Moorish American.
What's your race?
Asiatic.
What's your status?
White.
If you don't know that, then it ain't nothing I can do for you. It ain't nothing I can do for you. And from this emerges what? Governments we call common law. As I broke down in trust funds, as I broke down in land patents and all that. This is common law. This should be common. In a court of law, there's no what, Malik? excuse of not what?
Knowing the law.
It's no excuse.
That's why people that move into the country for to become a citizen, right?
They have to take the amnesty oath.
Meaning, hold on. Meaning what in the book? Was it white by law?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And what? White persons.
Yep.
In order to become a citizen is labeled white persons.
Yep. I just lectured that the other day, Malik, and I'm glad you always make reference to that because you know that's powerful.
Yeah, because under law, black has no standing in law. So why would you even associate anything like that? When these people come over from other countries and want to become a citizenship, they understand that they got to be labeled to get the rights and have citizenship, become a naturalized citizen. Through the process, you got to be a white person.
Come on, Malik. And Negro to sit up there and argue, I ain't white. Malik say, he ain't say you white for your skin tone, smart guy.
Nobody's white skin tone, but under law, we are. That means you're a human being.
And they don't even understand that because they don't know law. And I give these documents to people for pennies. When I talk to professors, they was like, whoa, you could teach this on Harvard. I said, no, I teach this to my people.
Well, we do understand why people don't know that, you know.
It hasn't been taught.
They go through 12, 13 years of so-called academia, pseudo-academia, and they don't teach law. They just start giving them all these stories and references to history. But history also makes laws, but they don't understand the laws that pertain to having actual rights.
Malik, you came to the BBT and got an advanced degree.
Absolutely.
You can go to anywhere right now and take history classes and graduate with honors. I guarantee you.
I was searching. You gotta be willing to search and do the work and put the work in.
Malik,
it ain't just gonna come to you.
Your library is extensive. Was your library extensive like this before you met me?
No.
And it don't have nothing to do with me.
You put them in. We have organized and showed us how to use the information I have. Having a God. That's what's up.
And that's all I tried to share with brothers and sisters. I said somebody got to be